Should DBZ have ended with Cell? Now, yesterday I was talking to a really good friend of mine, and my homie and I, we were discussing old anime, certain anime he likes, certain anime I like, and I'm, he's suggesting all that jazz. And then I brought up, DBGT, Dragon Ball GT, how I think, I don't understand the hatred for it. He was explaining it, I get that, but I think it's all foolishness, but that's another topic for another day. Anyway, we somehow started talking about DBZ, Dragon Ball Z. And he was like, Dragon Ball Z should have ended with Cell's defeat. Obviously, I disagree. Obviously. 5 reasons why I disagree. Look, man. Before I get any hate and before I get any... I understand that this view is growing. It's been growing since the 90s. I understand that a lot of people love Gohan. I understand that a lot of people love Cell. Cell's one of my favorite characters in the Dragon Ball universe, Dragon Ball storyline. But listen, and I will explain analytically why it would have been a very bad idea for Toriyama and the editors to cut Dragon Ball after Cell's defeat. Number 5. Gohan was not a hero. Now, let's look at the tail of the tape, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, Gohan, when he defeated Cell, well, yeah, I guess we can put it on Gohan, but it was a whole combination of elements that defeated Cell. When Cell was defeated, Gohan was 11 years old. That is younger than when Goku was brought into the series, pretty much. As far as I remember, Goku was 12? Now, I might be wrong. Y'all can correct me. But Gohan was very young. Very, very young. Gohan was OP. OP as hell. Now, people can look. I understand he did training in the hyperbolic time chamber. I understand that when DBZ, the whole Raditz situation, the beast within, we saw him fight against Frieza, and we see that. I get that. I understand that. But let's get real. Gohan surpassed his father at 11. Mind you, at 11. He wasn't even a full Saiyan either. He was stronger than Vegeta, Trunks, and Goku. Gohan allowed people to die. Numerous people. Now, before y'all get all up in arms, yes, Krillin died on Namek. More people died, but Goku wasn't there. Krillin died on Namek. He saw that. Y'all saw how Goku responded, though. This was Frieza. At the time, Frieza was pretty much, he had been built up to be this just galaxy destroyer. Frieza was the ruler of the galaxy. Goku, if you look in retrospect, people say Goku had no business even being able to beat Frieza. Some may say he got Hack's ability with the Super Saiyan. I don't. Obviously, I disagree with that as well. But for real, he had to transcend to a legendary state in order to defeat Frieza. Okay? Goku didn't have time to train, really. He almost died after the battle with Vegeta. He trained along the way, sure, and all that. But he didn't really have time to train like Gohan did. Goku diverted his attention to allow Gohan to be the successor, to be able to protect the world in case he ever had to be gone, in case he had to die again. Okay? Remember, Goku already had died once. Gohan allowed 16 to die. Android 16, ladies and gentlemen. A good friend of his. He allowed the Z fighters to almost get killed by the Cell Juniors. He allowed Trunks to die. And worst of all, he allowed his own dad to sacrifice himself. Goku had to die again. Gohan couldn't even get the job done. Gohan couldn't get the job done. And if it wasn't for Vegeta intervening, his son died. Trunks, if it wasn't for that, Vegeta intervening and distracting Cell, if it wasn't for Goku coaching his Goku coaching his son, he's talking through King Kai, Gohan would have lost that fight and the whole world is screwed. Okay? Gohan allowed Cell to achieve Super Saiyan 2 status. Gohan allowed all this junk to happen. Number 4. Goku's death was meaningless. Goku's death was meaningless. Now, I remember watching back and even watching it again, because I had rewatched the series, right? I'm like, yo, I thought, when Cell self-destructed, I thought it was it. I'm like, Goku's going out like a noble hero. No, what do we find out? Cell's able to regenerate. So pretty much Goku died for no reason. That's what meaningless means. No reason. No point. We lose the greatest hero in the Dragon Ball universe. The real hero. And we are left with what? A bunch of Z fighters who can't compare to Cell. Cell is beyond perfect now. He's Super Saiyan 2. He's transcended. Not only was they couldn't defeat him before, now he's transcended. And now you leave a banged up 11-year-old OP Super Saiyan 2. Okay? So, what do we have here? We have a really bad situation. Really bad situation. Really bad. Gohan was unable to finish the job, so Goku had to step in. Gohan had got cocky with his new powers. And, really though, think about this. Moving on. Number 3. Generational differences. Now, this is a key point people need to realize when we're talking about Dragon Ball. Okay? Here's one of the things that separates Akira Toriyama's Dragon Ball versus Ichiro Oda's One Piece. Okay? Unfortunately, Naruto kind of falls in line a bit differently, but a bit with Dragon Ball in this, instead of following more of the One Piece story here. What I mean is, you look at the generations, okay? We have a huge problem. There was no Earth protectors in Gohan's generation. I repeat, there were no Earth protectors in Gohan's generation. Now, they were powerful dudes, sure. No Earth protectors. You look at the stats. You look at Goku and Vegeta, true Saiyans. What did they live for? To fight. They were warriors, born, bred, dead. Period. I mean, they could obviously had other skills, but they were warriors. You look at Piccolo, Tien, Krillin. They were all always ready to throw down, and war wasn't even their main focus. They had been fighting since they were, come on. Yamcha was a bit of an anomaly, but even Yamcha, at a certain point, he just figured, they're beyond me. But even Yamcha was willing to throw down sometime. Okay? Check out, King Kai's planet after they all had died. Even Yamcha, who was an anomaly, was willing to throw down. You look at Chi-Chi and Bulma. They were ready to hit folks upside the head if it had be. Shoot, do I even need to throw in 18? Yes, Android 18. Okay? Look at Goku's generation. Then look at Gohan's generation. Gohan was a pacifist. He was a bloody pacifist. Now, I have nothing wrong with those who love the peace, okay? Who don't want to fight. Who believe in non-violence. I'm all for that. I'm all about that life. But I'm also all about that life is you got to fight. In this life, you got to fight. Period. Unfortunately, you got to fight sometimes. That's just how it is. It makes you stronger and this and that. That's another topic for another day. Okay? You have to fight. Gohan was all about that. Gohan only fought when it was absolutely necessary. I mean, he allowed pretty much the whole world had to pretty much be destroyed before Gohan did the work. You look at post Cell Saga. What do we see here? We see the truth. Gohan stopped training. He might have trained a little bit here and there. He trained Goten a little bit. But he stopped training. Goku, even after dead, never stopped training. Vegeta never stopped training. You look at Goten and Trunks. They were kids at the time. But then you look later down the line after the Buu Saga. Okay? You look at that junk. And what does that tell you? They're about that social life. They were soft. That generation was soft compared to the other one. That generation was OP. That generation was overpowered, for those who don't understand that one. The half Saiyans were overpowered. They were just blessed with great genes. It's pretty much it. Pretty much it. They weren't about that life. They weren't about that life. Now, you know, Trunks, when he was young, you know, because he was under Vegeta, you know how his dad was. You know, he seemed like he was about that life. Future Gohan was about that life because they were forced to. But by nature, none of them characters were about that life. So how do you expect them to be Earth protectors? How do you expect them to be, you know, protectors of the universe? Nah, bro. Mm-mm. And I harken back to Gohan not being a hero. Vegeta and his father had to save Gohan. Vegeta had to distract and possibly sacrifice his own life. And remember, Vegeta had also died once before as well. You look at it, Goku, even after death, had to coach his son. Had to give his son confidence. You had this dude who was cocky, then turned into insecure. He had well more than enough power to defeat Cell. Goku been knowing that. Goku been on that. But no. Soft generation, as opposed to the previous generation of warriors. Number 2, the Buu Saga left the storyline semi-complete. This is an interesting point. Now, I'll get to GT in a second here. Okay? Oh, no. Let me deal with GT and let me just deal with these each of the sagas. A lot of people can't stand GT. You know, they, for whatever reason, Toriyama didn't create it, blah, blah, blah. And I understand Toriyama, he was not happy with, you know, Dragon Ball Z. He didn't like that period in his life. And a lot of people felt it should have ended or whatever. No, look at it. We look at this literally. You know, I'll give y'all the analysis. Look at this literally. What my main point of why I like GT, Dragon Ball GT, for those who don't understand, DBGT. Dragon Ball GT, what it gave us was a possible future timeline. It completed a lot of you know, areas, a lot of loose ends. The Buu Saga only semi-completed. It didn't fully complete things. Even the Buu Saga, the end of Dragon Ball Z, it left an open end a lot of things, and it introduced new things. With the doggone Cell Saga, if the Buu Saga left things incomplete, what do you think the Cell Saga, looking back in retrospect, would have left plenty of things incomplete? Now at the time, yeah, it seemed proper. It seemed proper. Look at it. Look at the tail of the tape. Again, look at the tail of the tape. Goku, his death became meaningless. So a lot of us are wondering, yo, is Goku going to come back? You know, what's up now? You know, he's died twice. You know, what's going on here? You know, we left with this 11-year-old. You know, there's a lot of Gohan. You know, what's going to happen with Gohan in the future? You know, how's he going to be? You know, Vegeta, is Vegeta going to get stronger? Is he going to transcend as well? You know, what's up with Piccolo? You know, there was a lot of junk. Think about it. We're gonna end it with this whole nother. If we would have ended that, then it's open for at least another series, because now Gohan's the main protagonist. People need to think about this. Gohan is left with the main protagonist. It's a passing of the torch, or so it seems. But it wasn't a complete passing with the torch, because he's still immature. He's not ready for that. So we are left in limbo. We are left in flux. Think about it. The Buu Saga couldn't even finish the story. The Buu Saga couldn't even finish the story. Oh, and if you want to try to finish it at Frieza, the Frieza Saga, sure. Only problem with that is Goku goes off to another planet, and we don't know what happens. I mean, and also you look at the element. You look at the element that the Cell Saga, one of the huge problems that it presented. It presented us with this dude. He fused, first of all. I mean, it showed the potential of fusion. I mean, let's get real. That's the predecessor of fusion. You know, If it wasn't for Android 17 and 18 being fused, there is no perfect Cell. There's no this seemingly ultimate being kind of thing. There's none of that. Cell presents that. He presents a transcendent figure. Gohan presented a transcendent figure. An ascended Saiyan. Super Saiyan 2. SSJ2. You know what I'm saying? Keep up with me. You look at it as well. We have a figure who's able to regenerate. All he needs was one cell. So what does that leave in the future? Think about this like this. That's going to leave a being. Now, I wouldn't think about that when I watched it out there. As a kid, I was like, oh, this is good. This is good. But looking at it and looking what the Buu Saga left was, because of what the Cell Saga, set up for us, we had to have a seemingly ultimate undefeatable being. Okay? We had to have that. You had to have, a being, the power of this being unbelievable. Seemingly unimaginable, at least at the time, until we see stuff in GT, for example. You had to have a being where the durability is just off the record, unbelievable, seemingly like godlike. I mean, yes, we see that, and we see how he went out. We've seen Spirit Bombs before. Goku pretty much defeated Frieza with the Spirit Bomb. Okay. But that was out of, gathered energy from all around. And Goku, he pretty much did it on his own without any help, Okay. We see with the Cell Saga, a Kamehameha, okay, defeated Cell. Now, I love that, but let's be real. That's how y'all want your ultimate villain to go out, really? Okay. We look at Kid Buu. We see Majin Buu, then we see Super Buu, and Kid Buu. Kid Buu is definitely one of my favorite characters of all I believe is he top 5? Yeah, I believe he's top 5. Yeah, I think he's number 5 in my list of all-time favorite Dragon Ball characters. Dragon Ball Z, all that, you understand? You look at Kid Buu, and my friend, he pointed this out. He talked about insanity. That's the only way you could go. That is a great idea. Having insane, totally ruthless, unfeeling evil, the embodiment of evil. And that's what Kid Buu was, the embodiment of evil. That's what he was. He didn't care about anything or anyone. He was destroying planets left, right. That's what you want. His skill set was, didn't matter how many times you beat him up, right back, right back, right back, right back, every single time. And that sense of desperation, you understand? That sense of, nobody can defeat this. The greatest warriors, they had to get the energy of the whole earth. Everybody, and that's a great theme as well to go out on. But think about it. That's a final villain right there, if you're going to have one. That's a final villain. Not how Cell went out. No. And number 1. What could be the number 1 reason why? Out of all of it, Cell wasn't even the best villain in Dragon Ball. No. Cell wasn't even the best villain. He was a good villain, sure. He was irredeemable and all that. But you look at the situation. You had Mercenary Tao back in Dragon Ball. You had Demon King Piccolo back in Dragon Ball. You had Vegeta, Dragon Ball Z. You had Frieza. You had Kid Buu. Garlic Jr. I mean, when I just list those 4, Mercenary Tao, Demon King Piccolo, Vegeta, that's 5, Frieza, Kid Buu, Is Cell really better than those? And I'll leave it at that because this video went longer than I expected. But if you really look at it analytically, Cell could not be the final villain in the Dragon Ball storyline, in the Dragon Ball story. Gohan couldn't be the hero of the Dragon Ball story. Not just because Goku was the protagonist, no. But Goku, he'd like Superman. The Japanese version of Superman. Toriyama even kind of crafted him. Goku, ultimate hero. Gohan? Gohan? Really? That's what y'all want? Goku? Then Gohan. Goku, then I rest my case. The Unexpected Wonder. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me y'all thoughts. I know I ran off on this one. But let's get real, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get real. Alright, have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace, y'all.